Hello and welcome to Midday Live from the News Hub here at Adesawe Kanda in Accra. My name is Efua. Take the headlines this afternoon. Ministry of Trade and Industry directs immediate reopening of shops and retail outlets belonging to foreigners. Men's goal to begin payment of dividends today. And tea workers in Kenya sue Unilever company in UK Supreme Court for failing to protect them during 2007 election violence. Now to our very first story, and Men's Gold begins payment of the gold collectible firm. Men's Gold is yet to pay its customers despite early assurance that payments would begin today. Customers thronged the various branches of the company this morning to withdraw their dividends, but the company has indicated it would only pay those whose investments have matured. A list has been issued indicating the dates that the company intends to pay all its customers whose dividends have matured. Gold collectible firm Men's Gold is yet to pay its customers despite early assurance that payments would begin this morning. Customers thronged the various branches of the company this morning to withdraw their dividends, but the company has indicated it would only pay those whose investments have matured. A list has been issued indicating the dates the company intends to pay all its customers whose dividends have matured. So my colleague Komla Kluche was earlier at the Dansoman branch of Men's Gold and has come through with this report.
Friday morning, almost 10, chaotic at the headquarters of Men's Gold Ghana Limited. The violent customers will not even allow the media to do their work by recording or filming any action that is going on there. The company is, however, yet to make any payment as promised on Thursday. Komla Kluche, TV3 News, Accra.
And those pictures you saw there were from earlier this morning. Komla Kluche was there at the headquarters, but is in the studio now and joins me for a bit of a chat. Good afternoon to you, Komla.
Good afternoon, Eva.
So, have they begun the payment of dividend?
No, it hasn't started. When we got there this morning, I mean, as they said yesterday in the press conference, they were going to start today. No time, however, was given yesterday, but we got there this morning, and a lot of customers had besieged the headquarters. I was stationed at the headquarters in Jowulu. A lot of the customers had besieged there, wanting to just get their money and all that. A lot of them were expecting to be paid their dividend. And many of them, I must say, also were there to take the principal because of the happenings that's going on. But the company has indicated that they are not giving the principal out. If, per the contract, what we have seen, if you were going to take the seed money, you will need to forfeit about 25% of that. That has not even been gone into yet. It was just the dividend. But as we got there, they were not paying. This is what the company did. When we got there, they brought out a schedule that the customers would have to follow it. That from the 5th to the 9th of August, if you have a maturity date from the 5th to the 9th of August, you are likely to receive your dividend or the collection date. That's for today. So from the schedule that they gave, 5th to 9th August, collection date Friday 28th September. From the 10th to the 12th of August, Monday 1st October, 13th to 15th, Tuesday 2nd October, 16th to the 18th of August. So it runs through like that all the way up until the 12th of September. So you're going to have to follow the schedules that they give. This is what the company said. Now, as of the time we were leaving, that this was just about some 10 minutes ago that we left there, nothing was happening. They said, or from snippets of information, they said they were going to pay, start paying somewhere around 1 p.m. Well, maybe the customers will have to wait till the 1 p.m. to see if indeed they have been paid. But happenings today at the headquarters, for instance, of Men's Gold was very apologetic. I mean, it was chaotic, most especially the customers venting their spleen on the media. What is the interest of the media in this? Just to report happenings. The customers will not even allow the media from the shot. These are stolen shots. These are shots we took with the hidden cameras that we had on us. You just could not film anything. One of the media houses.
Are there agitations and frustrations geared towards the media, or they are just frustrated?
From my understanding, theirs is not even concerned. They are not so much concerned about the fact that it is Men's Gold is unable to pay them now, but they say that the media is churning out a lot of falsehood about Men's Gold.
So then why are some of them clearly agitated and want to take out their principal, actually? If they aren't perturbed with...
That is the confusion which baffles even me. I am an independent media man. I've just gone there to do my story. All I needed to do was just to record, film, report as it is on the ground. Yes, it is good that you go there, you identify yourself. I was holding my microphone. It was even... What annoyed them most, GH1, their cameraman, was virtually beaten to pulp because he was filming even from a very far distance. This is what the customers are doing to the media, and I think that it is very wrong. The management of Men's Gold, I must say that Men's Gold officials have been very understanding. If you go to them, you want to record an order, they are cool with everything. But the customers, that is where the problem is. That is what they are doing, and I think that it is not in our interest as media to allow some of these things to go on. Yes, the media's only interest is just to report what it is, and that is the sad part of it.
Komla, just a minute. Let's go onto the phone lines right now and speak with my colleague Nuong Falong, who is at the East Legon branch of Men's Gold. Falong, can you tell us what's happening at East Legon? Is Men's Gold paying the dividend now?
No dividend is being paid presently. There's been a lot of customers here since morning. There are hundreds of people here who have rushed here because they received text messages from Men's Gold about resuming business. Now, when you get here, the people at Men's Gold have put a notice board outside saying, giving specific dates on which each person will be paid. So they have different categories. So most of them have had to be, turned back so they can come back on different days. Some will come on the 9th of October, some on the 20th of October, depending on when your dividends were due to be paid. Now, the other issues that have arisen today are that there are a lot of people who their contract has actually expired, but there's been no accommodation for these people on the notice, because if your contract has expired, you have an option to either take your principal and your dividends or roll over the entire sum, which the management of Men's Gold has not addressed, and that's the main problem here today.
Right. So, Falong, what have they stated when they will start paying the dividend?
They've asked a few customers to hold on till 1 o'clock. That's for those they have decided to pay today.
And do you have any understanding why the delay?
No, they have not given an explanation about the delay. They've just addressed the customers and they've asked them to hold on to 1 o'clock, and then they'll try to sort them out.
Right. Thank you very much. Nuong Falong at the East Legon branch
Most
of
welcome.
Men's
Yeah.
Gold. Kamla, back to you. Did Men's Gold communicate to you why they are waiting to pay them at 1 when they asked them to come? Is it because they are just overwhelmed with the numbers there?
Well, absolutely no communication has come from Men's Good at all. It was even, they've got at the point where we tried entry into it. They had allowed us. We got help from the police who were the riot ones who were there, who aided us into the building. But the customers said no, media should be thrown out. And they threw us out. Men's Good officials said, well, if that's what the customers are saying, we are not going to make issues complicated. You guys just move out, and we have no information for you as it stands. That's according to the sources we have there. As it stands now, Men's Good has not communicated to the media why they are delayed up until now, and even the message that is going around that they are going to pay them somewhere around 1 o'clock. No reason has been stated for that. This is even just rumor within the place. Some of the customers were saying that they were going to pay them by 1 o'clock, but it was not official from the Men's Good official.
Kamla, thank you very much for that work there, and we will be monitoring the situation and bring you an update on that. Now on to some other stories. And the Minister of State at the office of the Vice President, Alhaji Boniface Abubakar Siddiq, is yet to start work fully after over 1 clear month since he was reshuffled. On 3FM's morning show Sunrise with Winston Amwa, Boniface further defended his new role, saying he's not a special assistant to Dr. Baumia.
Alhaji Boniface Sadiq Abubakar was on August 10 moved from the Inner City and Zongo Development Ministry to serve in the office of the Vice President as Minister of State. More than 1.5 months since the announcement of his new role, the minister says he's yet to pick his appointment letter.
I'm not a special assistant. I'm a Minister of State assigned to the office of the...
To assist him?
Yes.
So it's more of you do what he has...
special assistants.
Yeah, so you'll be doing what he assigns you to do?
Sure. And of course, my role and responsibility will be spelled out.
You don't know that as of now?
I've given you the gist.
What have you been doing all this while?
I'm working. I'm in the office of the Vice President. I've been representing him and doing other jobs in other places.
His new appointment got people talking, especially because it is considered a demotion. A former MP for Madina Abokobi constituency recently said his new role is unfit for him.
Ahmad Sorugo, when I was appointed as substantive minister, first minister for the Zongo ministry, did he come on air to congratulate me? Now that I'm being reshuffled to the office of the Vice President, he comes on air to say he's so disturbed about me for having been reshuffled. I mean, what does that mean? And you shouldn't forget, in politics, you could be on top, you could be down, but so long as you are within, you are still safe.
President's communication was Minister of State at the office of the Vice President.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem is, because
where is the office of the Vice President? Is it not at the presidency?
Yes.
So what is wrong with that?
Meanwhile, Boniface, who is also the MP for Madina Abokobi constituency, is optimistic of delivering.
Now, let's turn our attention to some issues regarding trade in the country. And the Ministry of Trade and Industry has directed the immediate reopening of all shops and retail outlets belonging to foreigners, which were closed by the Task Force on Retail Trade. The decision follows extensive consultations between the Ministry and the national executives of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Ministry of National Security, and the Nigeria High Commission and other relevant institutions. Earlier this year, the Ministry of Trade and Industry gave non-Ghanaians in the retail sector up to July 27, 2018 to leave the markets or face the wrath of the government. Now we have in the studio Prince Boachi Boateng, who is the head of PR at the Ministry of Trade and Industry. Welcome, Prince.
Thank you, my dear.
So we'll be going into why now the statement. But first of all, let's take a listen to what some Nigerians said when they besieged the ECOWAS headquarters in Nigeria.
Led by the president of the association, Barrister Ken Okoha, presented a petition to ECOWAS and cautioned that if they fail to intervene in the matter within a week, they would occupy the Commission's premises. He noted that since Ghana is a signatory to the ECOWAS Protocol on free movement of goods and services, there's a need for the Commission to caution the Ghanaian government.
Since 2007, Nigerians living and doing business in Ghana have been persistently, continuously molested. Many of them intimidated, harassed, their businesses liquidated, shops closed down. As we speak now, over 400 shops belonging to Nigerians are under lock and key by Ghanaian authorities. And what is the reason, we are asking? The reason is that they are saying that Nigerians come there and take over their businesses. And we not tell them made a lazy. We not tell them made and sign ECOWAS treaty that brought every country in ECOWAS, all the 15 countries together as one entity.
The Trade and Industry Ministry in July this year suspended the directive to all foreigners in the domestic retail business to leave the local market to intensify sensitization and education in the domestic retail trade sector.
But the fulcrum of the whole thing is that the Ghanaian parliament went and did a law, came up with a law, enacted a law. The GIPC, Ghana Investment Center Promotion Act 865, that said that if you are a foreigner in Ghana, unless you have a minimum capital of about $1 million, listen to me, I'm not saying 1 million cedi, I'm not saying 1 million naira. $1 million, you cannot do business in Ghana. And we are saying that Nigerians in Ghana, are they foreigners?
No.
Hello? Nigerians in Ghana, are they foreigners? No. Are Ghanaians in Nigeria being maltreated in this way? No.
Prince, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, my sister.
So you had the Nigerians there. Is it true that you are flouting ECOWAS protocols on free trading?
My dear sister, how can this be? Ghana is an avowed respecter for the rule of law. And we all know that Ghana is one of the founding members of the ECOWAS. You also remember that Ghana is one of the countries that is bidding to host the headquarters of the African Continental Free Trade Area in an era when the government is embarking on an industrial transformation agenda. And this whole industrial transformation, including the 1D1F and all that, is supposed to enhance our exports to other markets. So how can a country that should be championing this now be flouting
But they are claiming that since
protocols?
2007, you have asked them to get out of the markets.
Asking you to get out of the market does not necessarily amount to flouting ECOWAS protocols. ECOWAS protocols talk about free movement of goods and people. But you and I are Ghanaians, and even in our country, every right comes with responsibilities. So the mere fact that you have the right to move humans and goods from one ECOWAS country to the other does not mean that it is unregulated. Ghana is a sovereign state. Yes, you have signed on to ECOWAS protocols, but signing on to ECOWAS protocols also allows you to protect the sovereignty of your country as well. So you have the right to come in, you have the right to go. You have the right to trade here, we have the right to also trade there. But the environment is regulated, and the laws that apply to that environment must be respected, and that's what we're saying.
So then why this U-turn now with a statement?
There is no U-turn. An initial statement was issued out, giving them an ultimatum to leave the markets. I mean, we are a committee of nations, like you heard the Nigerian official saying. And therefore, we accept the fact that we need to judge, we need to agree on a few issues. So we came up with the directive, and there were overtures to the ministry. And that's what saddens me the most. When some of these nationals approached us, it was not as if they were against the enforcement of our national laws. What they said is that, well, we have no problem with you, but give us ample time to consult with our constituents. Let's brief them, let's educate them, let them get to appreciate why the need for this implementation of these laws. And then we take it up from there. And that's why you remember that in the subsequent statement that we issued, we said it was supposed to allow for more consultations and sensitization. So if all these things are going on, since then we've been engaging. And let me address this point. It is not as if we are targeting Nigerians. And I'm very particular about that. This whole thing is about regulation of the retail trading environment. It is not about Nigerians. It is not about Chinese. It's not about Lebanese. It's not about any.
You've made that point.
Respect for the rules.
So this statement is supposed to give you some time to speak to stakeholders and to agree on some.
In fact, we have been meeting with the stakeholders, including the Nigerian High Commission and the High Commissioner himself. We've met with the Chinese embassy. We've met with the Lebanese community and others that are involved in this retail trade.
So what's the schedule? How long do you intend to have these consultations? And finally, at the end of these consultations, what will be the way forward?
The way forward is what's important for me. And the way forward is that the Ghanaian laws must be respected and will be respected and will be enforced. What is happening now is that after the consultations, and they are still ongoing, but then it's not as if because the consultations are ongoing, our laws should not be respected. So what is happening is that there's a task force. Initially, what happened was the task force went out as a group. And so maybe, we sat down and we realized that it may come out to people as if there is an attack that's being launched. You know what? Instead of going as a group, let's allow the individual entities to enforce their laws. GIPC is there. Let them enforce the GIPC Act. Registrar General Department is there. If it's about registration of businesses, let it be enforced. Ghana Revenue Authority, the Customs Division.
But then they are claiming, according to the video, they were saying that $1 million US is quite a hefty amount, and so it seems as if you don't want them engaged in trading in the country.
And you saw me shaking my head when you were speaking.
And that was
it doesn't
seem it will change.
It is never going to change because that is the laws of the country. You have the right to trade in other areas of the country. What we are saying is that retail trade
or petty trading
is reserved for Ghanaians. It's as simple as that. Let's respect the laws of the country. You can engage in other things. We are talking about one district, one factory. They can come in. There are incentives that are available. We'll help them and get them to benefit from those incentive packages. But the retail trading environment, they should leave it for Ghanaians. However, we are amenable to discussions, and that is what is ongoing. And let's respect each other, and let's stop creating the impression as if there is a xenophobic attack in this country. Right. It's about laws. It's not about
Thank you very much, Prince Boateng, who is the head of PR at the Ministry of Trade and Industry. Now on to our MTN video report for today, and our citizen journalist Tete Emmanuel Mate reports on the poor structure of the Atani Ata DA school building at Asante Achim South in the Ashanti region.
This is the structure of Atani Ata DA of Asante Achim South in the Ashanti region. Anytime it starts raining, the school have to close for children to get home before it gets worse. The structure is made up with stakes bound together with mound. So we are appealing to the government to come to their aid and give them new structure because it's not conducive for learning. This was citizen Dr. Emmanuel Mate reporting from Asante Achim South in Ashanti region.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. You can also send your video report to our WhatsApp platform 055-1433-044. You're watching Midday Live on TV3. When we return, we have business. You're welcome back. A Deputy Minister for Transport, Daniel Nikwate Titus Glover, has called on insurance companies to pay a token to the Ghana Police Service to help closely monitor and enforce road regulations. The Deputy Minister made this suggestion at a program to inaugurate Road Safety Goodwill Ambassadors at the head office of the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, Accra.
The Deputy Transport Minister, Titus Glover, was a special guest at the brief event to inaugurate the Goodwill Ambassadors, Advocates and Communicators. The strategy is to help fight road accidents in the country. Speaking on the sidelines of the event, the Deputy Minister for Transport, Titus Glover, was of the view that insurance companies must play a critical role in the fight against road accidents by paying a token.
So therefore, these insurance companies who charge, premiums on behalf of their clients, so that if there is any accident and they are coming for their compensation and all that, the enforcement is with the police. So at least some token should be given to the MTTD of the Ghana Police Service, not the entire police administration.
The board chairman of the National Road Safety Commission, Ismaila Awudu, explained the various roles the different categories of ambassadors will play.
Real ambassadors specifically are going to help us influence policies. The advocates are there to also carry on a mandate of making sure that issues of safety are trumpeted out there.
Some of the ambassadors shared their views on their new roles.
Definitely, I am a voice in the nation, and like I said, whatever can be said or done, we will advance that cause.
It is our responsibilities together to ensure that at least the road becomes safety for not for me alone, but for anybody who uses the road.
The challenge we are facing on the road is all about attitude. And we, the advocates, are out there to talk to our people to change our mind on the way we use the road.
The Hungarian government has expressed interest in exploring investment opportunities in government's One District, One Factory program. The Hungarian ambassador to Ghana, Andras Zabo, disclosed this at the Accra Regional AGM and Faith Visiting Embassies, Entrepreneurs and Networking event by the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI.
The event provides the platform to foster business relations with countries that have embassies in Ghana, and it was the turn of the Hungarian embassy. It brought together captains of industries who deliberated on how to access capital for small and medium enterprises, SMEs. The Hungarian ambassador to Ghana, Andras Zabo, hinted that his country is in talks with the Trade Ministry to establish 6 agro-processing factories under the One District, One Factory program. Deputy Trade Minister Carlos Ahinkra, on his part, assured captains of industry the One District, One Factory will transform the economy and ensure an even spread of industries nationwide.
The mainstay of this program is to enhance the natural resource potential of the various districts. So what we have done as a ministry is to profile all the districts and come up with the natural resource endowments of these districts, so that if you come in and you want to set up a factory and you require a certain or a particular type of raw material, we'll be able to direct you as to where to site this factory, and you just move on without any hassle.
Chief Executive Officer of the AGI, Chum Akwabua, urged industry players to take advantage of the opportunities.
I think that there are opportunities everywhere in the world. How do you harness these opportunities? And so far, I think for the Hungarian one, it's been good, just as with all others. At the end of the day, the association only creates the platform. It is up to the businesses to take advantage of it.
It was under the theme, Partnering Industries Across the Globe for Industrial Growth.
Government is introducing a new gas bill to consolidate gas sector regulations within the emerging global regulatory space. According to Deputy Energy Minister Dr. Amin Adams, this is key to providing certainty and predictability for investors in the sector.
The new gas bill is part of recommendations by the Gas Master Plan Committee. It is expected to address issues of pricing, regulation and streamlining the primary and secondary gas markets. At the opening of the Ghana Gas Conference in Accra, Deputy Energy Minister Dr. Amin Adams noted the new bill, when approved, will make the oil and gas sector more attractive.
At the moment, we have about 3 or 4 institutions that are all regulating gas. MPA is regulating gas, the Petroleum Commission, the Energy Commission, the Public Utilities and Regulatory Commission. I do not think any investor is going to be incentivized by these bureaucracies and over-regulation of the gas sector to put their money in the country. And so the gas bill will also clarify the various roles and then realign the role of these institutions and agencies.
He is optimistic it will be approved early next year.
We want to do it between now and a year so that we can start applying it to the gas industry. But until it is finalized and Parliament approves it, we have existing legislation and regulation that will continue to apply.
Executive Director of the Gas Consortium, Sanam Beho, emphasized the need for more investment in the sector.
Well, I think one of the things we'd like to see is the recognition that the gas sector can really push our economy to the next level. It's already resonated in the gas master plan, which has set out the objectives that can make this realizable. But I think a lot more implementation is concerned and a lot more decision making here is involved.
The two-day conference is on the theme, Driving Ghana's Downstream Gas Utilization.
And that's it for business this afternoon. Let's look at some more stories. And the former president, John Dramani Mahama, has promised to engage all stakeholders in the implementation of the free senior high school policy if he returns to power. John Mahama was addressing the Cape Coast North constituents as part of his campaign tour of the Central Region. Adjoa Adubiowusu has the report.
Addressing the NDC constituents and branch executives of Cape Coast North during his campaign tour of the Central Region, the former president said the involvement of educational giants, parents and political parties in the country would ensure the success of the free SHS policy, something the governing NPP party has failed to do.
Say about 2021, the National Stakeholders Conference on Free SHS, the teacher and for today, Professor Yak and Professor the political parties, the teacher
He says the implementation of the free compulsory basic education was successful because the Ghana Education Trust Fund under President Rawlings' administration took 15 years of proper consultation to implement. John Mahama insisted the challenges associated with the free SHS policy will not cease unless a comprehensive funding strategy, in addition to a stable economy, is sought.
Let's still stay with the NDC, and the former national vice chairman of the party, Daniel Annan, says he's the only candidate who can lead the National Democratic Congress to recapture power in the 2020 general elections. Daniel Annan said all the names popping up in the NDC chairmanship race are not capable of uniting the party from the grassroots level to the executive level.
Campaigning for the NDC chairmanship is gradually gathering momentum as candidates are expressing optimism of winning the coveted position in November this year. The former Greater Accra chairman, Daniel Annan, said he will ensure the party's peace and democratic principles are strictly adhered to.
What I believe has gone wrong, and the reason why my mathematics area are 4 R's: rebuild, resource, redirect, and recapture. The reason why I have these 4 pillars is that having served all the structures in the party up to the vice chairmanship position, I believe our party structures had somehow collapsed and we need to rebuild it.
Daniel Annan said the National Democratic Congress needs a leader with vision and integrity to ensure victory in 2020 elections.
There are drivers who went through what we call driver's mate. they learn the rudiments of becoming a driver, being driver's mate for a period of time. Unlike those whose fathers, those who are fed with, silver spoon, they have their father's car in the house, they pick it at any time. Gradually, they drive. They know how to control the wheel, and they call themselves drivers. They are all drivers, but believe me, those who went through the MIT system will become better drivers. That is exactly what I have that others don't have.
He believed the only way for NDC to recapture power in 2020 is to unite the party.
I also believe, having served throughout these years, that we have failed to motivate the grassroots, and we need to resource them, motivate them, so they can work harder.
You're watching Midday Live on TV3. It's now time for sports after this break. The High Life maestro Kojo Entry says he feels fulfilled when he hears up-and-coming musicians take inspiration from his compositions. Speaking on New Day, the multiple award-winning singer encouraged musicians to cultivate the habit of writing and rendering their own pieces.
I'm the most covered artist at the moment. Right. Check what's going on.
Okay.
All the young ones, I hear, Obiba, Mam, everybody is covering that phrase.
Right,
right. Becca has done it. Obiba, Manimio. That they know that phrase. Right. And I hear different versions of flamenco.
Okay.
And it feels great to see that all the young ones are tapping from what is there.
Right.
And it's quite fulfilling.
So you write your songs, you sing them.
I sing them. Some of the earlier ones, I played everything myself.
Wow.
Konoba, I played everything.
Wow.
Minyan Taban, apart from the saxophone.
Okay.
And the drum that was played by Jose, I played. I worked with Kwame Yeboah from I Love Your Style.
Okay.
I've been working with great artists.
But you did the earlier ones.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There are some who say that, look, not every artist is cut for songwriting.
Sure.
Some of them should just be singing.
Sure.
But they insist that, look, they want to write and sing.
Yeah.
What do you advise?
Yes, you're right. It is not everyone who is given that talent of putting songs together. Whitney Houston, great voice. Right. I think in the earlier days, you had people like the station master writing songs like Ponkwa Bodam. He believed he didn't have the right voice for it, so he gave it to Bob Cole.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But now everybody writes a song and they want to sing it by themselves. Okay. I have songs that I've written with other artists in mind.
Okay.
I have songs that
You've written songs and you're choosing people to sing it.
This song will be good for this artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
For example, who have you written a song?
I've written a song. I gave a song to Kontihene.
Okay.
Megezege.
Okay.
It's my song.
Okay.
So I gave it to him. My song.
Wow.
It was a song that I've completed. Wow. I worked with him on Midday and I decided to give him that song. Okay. And I gave him the idea, go do a research on Megezege and use it. But the song was already recorded.
Already done.
Done. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. So we're performing this Saturday, is it?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. It is. Tomorrow. Let me say tomorrow. Tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
We're meeting where?
Kempinski
Gold Coast Hotel. Yeah. And Daddy Lumba will be there. Kojo Entry will be there.
No, Daddy Lumba Samini.
Kojo Entry is here. Yes. You are promising us a blast.
You can miss this.
And that's all for Midday Live for today. My name is Efua Tieku. For more news, do go to 3news.com. Good afternoon and lovely weekend.